July 17th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. We are brought to you by Royal Banks of Missouri and Munganess St. Louis Acura. I am Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. And because I didn't get enough shit from Claibs earlier this afternoon about my lack of classic TV knowledge, Rammer, I might as well just open it up and let you tear into me and continue on what Claibs started around 12:45 today.
Well, you can't know where you're going unless you know where you've been. And things need context. Mm-hmm. So I think that's all Claibs is probably talking about. I didn't hear it, but apparently you weren't aware that there was a highly successful Mission Impossible television show.
Yeah, I just thought Tom Cruise started the movie franchise all by himself.
No.
Like if you were to tell me that Fast and Furious was a TV series before Vin Diesel started it, I'd be. I mean, that's as equally as shocked as I was when Claibs told me Mission Impossible was a TV series. So yeah, that was pretty similar to that. And then yeah, I got that from Claibs, and then Jamie Burkhart over there at Burkhart. Munganess, St. Louis, or Alton Toyota. Yeah, he let me have it too with that.
Yeah, the Fast and the Furious was the original title of Claibs in my early talk show. He was fast and I was furious.
That checks out. That seems about right. We talked, Claibs and I also talked this afternoon. I know you were on the air, but we talked about kind of what you and our roles here on Daily Cards Live, how I'm the optimist here and you are you're the pessimist. Cardinals go 2 out of 3 this past weekend over the Washington Nationals, which is what they should do. Probably should have been 3 out of 3 as they had leads, big leads in all 3 games. And let the first one get away from them. But still, nonetheless, it is winning a series to start the second half of the year.
If you made a division of the 6 last place teams, I think the Cardinals could win that division.
That's mighty optimistic of you there, Rammer.
Well, that includes the Yankees, who are over 500 right now.
Ooh, okay.
So it actually is optimistic.
The Cardinals are going to make a few moves here over the next 2 weeks. We already knew they were going to. I mean, John Mozeliak has said they are going to be making moves. There are going to be roster changes over these next 2 weeks. August 1st is the trade deadline this year, and the Cardinals got moving just a little bit earlier with Genesis Cabrera being designated for assignment this morning, meaning the Cardinals now have about 7 days right now. 7 days to trade him or release him, or unless he accepts his assignment to go down to Memphis. John Mozeliak spoke to the Cardinals media before the game today and said that basically it was a time for a change of scenery for Genesis Cabrera. I mentioned it on the lunch show, the Emory, Illinois lunch show today. I will not be one bit surprised if Genesis Cabrera goes to a contender this year and is lights out on the mound down the stretch, a left-handed pitcher who throws 98 miles an hour. You know what? The Cardinals have benefited from players like that for years, where you take somebody low-hanging fruit and you turn him into a guy that does not give up any runs. You know what? I would not be surprised if the same thing happens with Genesis.
No, the key is, and I haven't seen yet today, I know Luke and Baker was sent out, but I haven't seen the corresponding pitching move. And maybe they'll wait till tomorrow.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because the Cardinals today signed Ryan Tepera to a major league contract, added him to the active roster. So designating Genesis for assignment dropped them down to 39 players on the 40-man roster. Adding Ryan Tepera means that they are going to be back at 40. So that means McGreevy not in the cards just yet for the big league club. Here, though, I mean, so Ryan Tepera pitched earlier this year for the Los Angeles Angels and was teammates with Lars Nootbaar's best friend, Shohei Ohtani. In 10 games, 8 2/3 innings, had an ERA of 7.27. So that's why the Angels let him go. He wasn't very good this year. Yeah, he wasn't very good for the Angels. Last year, though, He pitched 57 and a third innings for the Angels with a 3.61 ERA. That's pretty good out of the bullpen.
Not bad.
The year before that, he pitched for Chicago. He pitched 43 games for the Cubs, 22 games for the White Sox. He pitched for Chicago in the year of 2021, had an ERA of 2.79. That was just back in 2021.
That's very good.
We will see if a change of scenery helps him out. And also, too, hey, I'll tell you what, only pitching 8 innings or 8 and 2/3 innings this year, he better be ready to throw the ball.
Yeah, and Tyler O'Neill's going to be called back up. And the Cardinals today, Ollie made another declaration. I just don't know why the Cardinals feel the need to declare things. Just let it play out. And if the media asks, say, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Or I do know, but I'm going to figure it out. We'll let the players decide, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of, but nope. The outfield going forward is O'Neill, Nootbaar, and Walker. Oh, okay. Now, many of us presume that means that they're showcasing O'Neill to move him. That's a presumption. I don't know if that's a fact.
Let me ask you this.
They might trade Carlson.
Has Dylan Carlson been showcased enough to move him?
Well, we can't look at it from our point of view. If I was, I'd want to look at contenders and see who needs an outfielder.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that would be.
I don't. Yeah.
Is he better than Grisham in San Diego? I don't know. He's playing a little bit better. He's okay. So that, I think, where does the value lie? Not in what we think of players, but what potential trade partners think about players. That's what matters.
Do you think Dylan Carlson's been given a fair shot at earning an everyday spot?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. I do.
I feel like maybe not this year.
Well, he's been in and out of the lineup, and he hadn't performed that well.
Yeah. So they did go on to say, Marmol did also go on to say that Brendan Donovan is probably still a week away from being able to play the field in a game.
That really hamstrings him in making lineups, because I think in a regular starting lineup, you'd want Herrera catching and Contreras DHing, and then move Donovan around. Mm-hmm. But now you can't. So catching, it's either Contreras or Herrera, and with Edman also hurt, your infield is set around the horn, and now apparently the outfield's set too. So Carlson's out, Donovan DH. It's the flexibility that we all loved earlier in the year is all gone now, but 99% of it due to injury.
Well, let's take a look at what that lineup looks like today. And before we do that, Rammer, those lineups brought to you by Bootleg and Tavern. Rammer, it's Burger Week in St. Louis this week. It's Burger Week, and Bootleggin is participating in Burger Week. $8 for a double house ground brisket patty with bootlegger sauce, cheese, and all the toppings on a potato bun. But, Rammer, they have a special burger every day of the week that is a highway to the danger zone with their Top Gun series. And it all starts off with their burger today. Rammer, today it's the Maverick.
The Maverick.
House ground Sloppy Joe burger topped with lettuce.
I love a good Sloppy Joe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are we gonna go there for lunch or dinner one day this week and try it out on Burger Week?
Maybe Thursday, huh?
I'm free this week.
Okay. We
can make this work.
I love a burger. It's probably, not counting ice cream, it's probably burger's my favorite food.
Yeah, and hey, if you were wondering, also later this week they will have the Goose, the Iceman, the Viper, and Hollywood all on the menu this week out at Bootleg and Tavern.
They're working it hard.
They absolutely
are. They always do.
Yeah, so $8 for their regular house ground brisket double patty smash burger, and then all week long their Top Gunner series of burgers out at Bootleg and Tavern. all week. So go out there and check it out during Burger Week here in St. Louis, 4501 Shoto Avenue in St. Louis, there at the end of the Grove. The Cardinal lineup today, it looks like this. Dylan Carlson, who we talked about, he's leading off, and he's playing center field tonight. Paul Goldschmidt at first, Nolan Arenado at third, Wilson Contreras DHs, Jordan Walker is in right, Paul DeYoung at short, Ivan Herrera is behind the plate, Lars Nootbaar is in left, and is it Jose Fermin? He is your second baseman for tonight's game with Miles Michaelis on the mound. The Marlins, they go with a rise at second, Soler DHing Cooper at first, Sanchez in right, De La Cruz in left, Segura at third, Wendell at short, Fortes behind the plate, and Myers is in center field with Luzardo on the mound for tonight. Jesus Luzardo on the mound, and if you couldn't guess based off the lineup I just read, Jesus Luzardo, he's a lefty. That's if you couldn't tell based on who's sitting and what the lineup looks like for tonight. Yeah, Jesus Luzardo's left-handed.
We talked about the difficulty that Ollie has in getting a healthy lineup out there and making all the pieces sort of fit together. It disturbs me that we're, I think, over platooning Brendan Donovan and Nolan Gorman. Now, Ollie might respond, yeah, I know it looks that way. I got to get these other guys a couple of at-bats. Carlson's going to be on the bench. I'm going to give him a day here. He's usually pretty good against left-handed hitters. I don't see why Fermin's in the lineup. He's just an emergency guy to me. He's your 13th guy. Why he's starting, I don't know. That one doesn't make sense to me.
Knowing that that Tyler O'Neill is coming back tomorrow, and knowing that Brendan Donovan is a week away from being able to throw the ball again, I wonder if the Cardinals hope they can get through today without using Brendan Donovan, retro him on the IL for today, and then get him throwing again after 7 days, use that 10-day injured list for him, knowing that Tommy Edman is going to be done with the 10 days here soon too.
I don't think so, but here is my point to support your point, and that is the Cardinals are rarely very accurate in talking about a prognosis for an injury, and it's been day to day now for 5-6 days. You hate taking one of your hottest hitters out of the lineup. I don't think I would do that, but I think your point is a good one. They may do that. I think that the offense needs both Gorman and Donovan playing as close to every day as they can. So I get what they've done with Carlson today, but I don't get – I got to have – you can't tell me that Fermin at second base instead of Gorman gives you a better chance to win. I'm not buying it.
Nope.
I'm not buying it.
No, I would agree with you. And right now, Brendan Donovan just kind of stuck at being a DH. Yeah. Hey, news around baseball actually has absolutely nothing to do with the 2023 MLB season. I don't know if you saw the Jason Stark reports from earlier today, but there's talk of a Legends home run derby at the 2024 All-Star game. Some of the names that have that Jason Stark threw out that might want to participate: Ken Griffey Jr., Albert Pujols, Jim Thome, David Ortiz. Those are names that I guess have already talked about it. Here, though, a few others: Ryan Howard, Prince Fielder, Jason Giambi, Yoenis Cespedes, maybe even Mark McGwire.
I think it'd be kind of an old time. They used to play a lot of old timers games. It'd be okay with me so long as they didn't drag it out for 3 hours. If they made it a 30-minute deal, get in, shake hands, get applause, have fun with each other, get 10 pitches, see what happens, something like that. But to make it a real competition, I would be against it.
Just something in the middle of the rounds of the home run derby, something like that.
Take a little halftime break.
Yes. because that's where the lull is. Being at having been to the last 4 of these home run derbies now where they do the brackets, the lull is in the semifinals because you already saw all 8 guys. Now you're seeing 4 of them again before it matters for the trophy. And that round, that semifinal round, you're kind of like, okay, we already saw them. Let's move it on to the finals.
So it's a 3-hour show. You do your first hour and a half getting to the semis. Give me a half hour, 45 minutes of old timers. Everybody has a great time, and then bring the final 4 hitters for real. Something like that would work for me.
But it's still really upset that I would want to see Ichiro in something like this, just because the talk always was he could hit a home run whenever he wanted to.
Yeah,
and I'm still upset that we didn't get to see Ichiro at the All-Star game this past year, with it being up in Seattle. That still bugs me that he wasn't there in any capacity. Hey, that's gonna do it for our show today. We'll be back tomorrow. Edwin Cabrera on the mound for the Marlins tomorrow. I like watching him pitch.
Yeah.
So we will talk about him tomorrow. He is also on the injured list, so he will be getting off the injured list to officially.
And Montgomery with the hammy, does he come out and perform well and make him a valuable trade piece to show that he's healthy?
Miles Michaelis, by the way, perfect so far in the second half of the season. In 3 innings pitched on Friday.
Good note.
Clabe said that he turned to Horton during the game up there on Friday, and he said he has no hit stuff going right now. And then the skies opened up and it started to rain, and we never did get to find out how that was going to end. Hey, we are brought to you each and every day by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Rammer, your friends at Royal Banks.
Royal Banks in Missouri, for a long time, number of years, had a home equity credit line at Royal Banks in Missouri. It's worked for me. It'll work for you. In a just barely over a year's time, I had to get a new roof, a new furnace, and some new flooring. Without that home equity credit line from Royal Banks, no chance. It worked for me. It'll work for you. 314-212-1500, Royal Banks of Missouri.
He is Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We will be back tomorrow with another edition of Daily Cards Live right here on ClaibsOnline.com.
At St. Louis Acura, we have over 100 new Acura models and over 160 pre-owned models in stock or on the way in May. Get 4.9% financing for up to 60 months on 2023 Acura MDXs, TLXs, Integras, and RDX models. Or get a certified rate as low as 3.49% on certified TLX and MDX models. And you can earn up to $1,500 in loyalty incentives. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.